Hello and welcome back to Crew 42's coverage of the River City Open. This is our FPO coverage presented by Discraft and sponsored by Spectrum Entertainment Complex and Oakley. We're at Byron Center, Michigan at Earl Brewer Disc Golf Course. My name is Zachary, and on the commentator's mic again, I have with me Ceci. How you doing?
Doing pretty well. Excited to see these ladies take on Brewer for a third time.
One final chance. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. Click that notification bell for up-to-date information whenever we post new content. Taking a quick look at our standings. Alisha right now shooting the hot round in round 2 in the better conditions. We have a little bit more wind this day, so we'll see if that shakes up anything. Alicia having a dominant year, as I mentioned, round 2, 976 rated, the only player currently under par overall.
Then we have Lindsey Maas, who is sitting in second, shooting a -2 last round. She is a Michigan local and looking to defend from last year. She tied the -2 round with Chantel last round, so they're both here. Chantel is from Ontario.
Yeah, we got Tiger as well, Borth joining us for the final round out of Clarkston, Michigan, looking to see if she can make some moves here.
I just want to dedicate my round to Tyler Weston, my cousin who passed away at the age of 38. I just want to say, make sure you check in with your loved ones and give them a hug and do the best you can to spend as much time as you can with the ones you love. Thanks.
Sweet message from Tiger there. Unfortunate loss in the family. Hopefully her family and prayers out to them. But we're going to move on now to hole 1. Par 3, 274 foot. You see the drone flying on the right side. You want to take that hyzer line if you can. Just leave it out far enough right around the tree. You should give yourself a putt.
Thank you for joining us for the final round of the 2024 River City Open presented by Discraft. This is your FPO final day lead card. First on the tee, representing Great Lakes Disc, Alisha Schafer.
There's Shay Abji, the tournament director for this event and sponsor of several players in the tournament. Had a little hiccup there, making sure he had the right sponsorship announcements for Alisha. See her going with a low, kind of a mid-range, maybe a putter shot. A little too low, is going to be outside circle.
Next on the tee, representing Team Discraft, Lindsey Maas.
Lindsey up on the tee, so sitting in second. I'm curious to see how aggressive Lindsey gets today to try to catch Alisha. Getting the birdie here would certainly be a good start to that.
This is going to find its way into circle, which is a good start for Lindsey.
Next up, representing Team Prodigy, Chantel Budinsky.
Chantel is also tied for second at +4, so 5 strokes behind Alisha. Excited to see her make the push today to try to catch her.
Yeah, she certainly made things exciting with Lindsey last year. See if she can do it again.
And rounding out your final day FPO lead card, representing Gateway Disc Sports, Tiger Borth.
Tiger Borth here to round out our card. She's got a power backhand. She's got quite a bit of distance when she gets a good rip on it. Wind conditions today are a little lower than day 1, but more than day 2. We'll see. She leaks off to the right there into the trees. Hopefully she plinkoed down and gives herself a putt.
Chantel giving it a long bid there. Stays in the circle, though, for the comeback. Tiger getting a little too far. We see her coming out of the woods.
And that's the danger of going into that deep stuff too far. Can restrict your putting angle. Just a touch too low there from Lindsey. Would have been a great opportunity to try to snag an extra stroke there. And there are not a lot to be had here on the front nine as it plays very difficult. Our ladies looking to make sure that they just don't let it get away from them here on this day, or on the front nine, excuse me. Back nine a little more scoreable for our division.
Hopefully we can pick up a couple birdies on the next hole. Then we get into a bit of a gauntlet where birdies are really hard to find.
One last tap in for us, and that's going to move us over to hole 2. As you mentioned, we could have, there's a birdie opportunity. What do we got going on?
Yeah, hole 2 is another par 3 at 312 feet. We've got a little bit of a turnover line here where the drone is flying that can put you right up near the basket. You might also see some ladies go. There's a bit of a hyzer line that's tighter down the right side.
Yeah, we've seen Chantel take
This
that
is another
line.
very scoreable. Yeah.
I like this shape from Alisha.
Yep, that looks really good. I do not think Lindsey put that quite as far left as she wanted to. Nice shape, but well away from the basket.
Chantel going for that right gap 3 times in a row. This time leaking a little too far right. She's going to catch some cabbage and going to be short in the fairway there.
Tiger also going down the right side, much cleaner than Chantel.
I think she wanted maybe a little more hyzer, maybe a little more height on that particular shot. She's going to be outside circle for her putt. Chantel kind of just an approach here. It looks like maybe a slip out of her hand just a little bit, but she will be in circle for her next putt.
Lindsey just laying it up from pretty far out.
Tiger giving it the effort. Trying to run one in from circle 2. Hyzer's out a little too early.
I'm excited to watch Tiger play today. She's the only one here that we haven't seen on our coverage yet. Oh, low miss from Chantel.
Those misses are going to add up. It looks like Chantel might lose 2 strokes now to Alisha, and Lindsey losing 1 as well. Alisha may be looking to put this one away early.
Par for Tiger. That brings Lindsey into solo second as Chantel taps in a bogey.
All right, we're headed out over to hole 3, 382-foot par 3. Really, unless you have the forehand 350 power or a backhand that can hold that turnover line the entire way. This is really more of a, you play it for the 3, which is just a straight shot, maybe a little hyzer into the front of the gap right before it goes downhill, and then a short approach shot. It's worth noting that the next 3 through 8 holes that we're playing all play within the 9 hardest holes of the round. So a really tough stretch, as you mentioned earlier, gauntlet coming up for these ladies.
That looks like a similar spot where we've seen Alisha land before. It will line her up well for a straightforward approach to the basket.
Yeah, you're really just trying to avoid anything really far right or left. Those are the no-no spaces, and you anything in the middle, even short, will still give you an opportunity to get the 3.
Tiger going roller.
Oh, she's getting aggressive here. It's going to get too far to the right, but I really like that play. I think it's uncommon to see that happen, but it does shape up well if you get the angle quite right. It'll turn over right down that hill.
Chantel catching an unfortunate tree.
She's going to have to go with that forehand pitch. She's been a little short with it all weekend. This one is no exception. catching the early corner. So she's going to have another approach from that position, looking at 4 at best.
So we see where Tiger's roller landed up. She also got pinched off on the right side, trying to go a turnover to get down to the basket. Coming up a bit short and still on the edge of the rough.
Yeah, tough angle there. She got really good distance from that position, though. It should be a 4 at worst, but she might have a sneaky look from the woods there. And Alicia's saying, you know what, I'm just going to nudge that tree by the basket, and we're just going to make this real easy.
Lindsey also just trying to put it close, it looks like. Walk off with the 3, she hopes.
Chantel with an open lane here, just going to pitch it up right by the basket. Just limit her damage and move on. Tiger obstructed, just a little pitch up around. Tough angle there to really get a look at the basket. She's probably just outside circle from that distance, but it's a tough spot when you have all that cabbage in front of you.
Good par for Lindsey. That will keep her on par with Alisha as well and gain another stroke on Chantel.
Since 2015, Great Lakes Disc has been supporting players at all levels, from local leagues and events to professional disc golfers on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Visit GreatLakesDisc.com to learn more.
Okay, on to hole 4, which is a par 5, 795 feet. Off the tee, our ladies are looking to get down to the corner here and give them a look to get to the top of this hill. Top of the hill in 2, you're doing really well. Once you're at the top, you're looking down the hill at this basket, probably about another 300-foot approach. You can get it there cleanly. You can have a look for birdie. This hole plays rather difficult.
Not quite the hardest hole on the front 9, but pretty tough. A little inside for Alisha there. She's not close to the Mando yet either, so it's likely going to be a pitch around from that position.
I think it's really nice on this one if you can get a little bit of turn out of the disc so you can stay more in the open at the bottom of the hill. Give yourself more options going up the hill.
Looks like Lindsey's doing a bit of course maintenance there as you see the leaves falling from her disc. She'll be well short, probably playing for the landing zone on her second shot. Tiger putting full body commitment into that one. Gets a lot of distance. Actually clips the flag of the drop zone. So she's in a great position there to get up and 2. Maybe even cut the corner a little.
I'm not quite sure how I made through all those trees, but good for her.
Yeah, me neither. Yes. You know, she must have made a deal with them before the round started.
I really like this drive from Chantel. Put her out in the open, really good distance, should have a nice look up the hill.
A little too high from Lindsey here. That was her mistake earlier in the tournament as well, and it's an easy one to make. You want to kind of cut the corner as much as possible. Feels like a spike hyzer angle, but that canopy definitely keeps you from going too far up. And she is pushing the OB. We don't really speak of it because it comes into play so little, but that fence along the backside there, you can kind of see it from Alicia's position, is in fact OB. I'm gonna say
Alisha,
she wasn't planning that.
Yeah, she did make the Mando though, so she'll be sitting on the hill, but she didn't love it.
And this looks fantastic from Chantel. Not only is she on top of the hill on 2, she actually was able to hit the inside, which means she'll have fewer trees, a few more open lanes, I think, from that angle, and it will be shorter distance than taking this wide route you see Tiger taking right now.
Alisha looked like she had a big skip up the hill. She'll be on top at least.
Lindsey pinched up on the right side by the fence, is just kind of left with this pitch out hyzer. She'll be on top of the hill there. A couple lanes to pick from, but pretty technical shot from that position.
Chantel with her third shot here.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
That's a good look for birdie. Oh, that tree will leave Alisha short of the basket.
Yeah, Alisha losing some strokes here to Chantel for sure. Lindsey might be able to sneak away with an extra stroke as well with a good approach that comes up a little short here. This is her approach now to the basket. It's going to make it into a circle. We didn't see Tiger's approach from her deep position either. She was a little quick there for the cameraman, but she's up in circle 2, right side of the green. You see Lindsey pitch up just a little short or far right of the basket for her putt.
A Tiger with a big straddle putt, getting the birdie.
And that is strokes on, folks. I mean, so few birdies on the weekend if we're talking about hole 4 in general. Looking at round 1, none. Looking at round 2, you guessed it, none. Looking at round 3, well, we got one right now. We have another opportunity for one. Great putt from Tiger. Had to commit wide straddle to the around that big tree. She's able to give it the height that she needed and let it trickle into the basket.
There's another one. Chantel with a birdie putt in as well.
It's very cool to see our field start calculating this hole a little bit better, getting those opportunities. But that's a 2-stroke swing with Chantel there and Tiger. Lindsey here with an opportunity. But unfortunately, some early hits from her is going to make her lose a stroke as she takes in the double.
Puts Chantel back ahead of Lindsey.
We're going to move over to hole 5 now, 667-foot par 4. Anything by the short red pad position is a great drive. There's a couple lanes, both forehand or backhand routes that you could go after. I think the best approach, if you have it available, is a forehand approach because it uses the hill by the basket well to kind of choke up your disc. But really anything, just this first drive really matters to give yourself in position, and the second one is how you decide to be, how you want to be aggressive from there.
Chantel making sure to get it down the gap today. We saw her go down the left side yesterday by accident, and this is looking like a really nice drive. She ends up just ahead of the short tee pad, which is a great spot to be.
Yeah, I couldn't put it in a much better spot. She'll have a straight tunnel shot from that position towards the basket. Tiger leaked a little right off of her drive. She'll have a farther approach, but still manageable. Alisha after the bogey. Yeah. Gets hers up by the short red pad position as well. She'll have a approach angle from there.
And Lindsey a little bit shorter than Chantel and Alisha, but still a great spot to be, just a little behind the short pad.
Probably takes birdie out of play without your perfect drive just because of the distance on this. We see her getting into the dirt, but she's still, I think, outside circle from that position. It plays uphill, and because of the canopy, you can't really give it a lot of height, so it restricts a lot of distance there, but really great shot from there. Tiger trying to do the same thing. She's really committing into the power shot here, and this thing's moving. And that should be deep in the basket from that position. I made circle 2 deep, I think.
Looks like Alisha gets to start on the tee pad here at least, but you can see the good line. You can pick whatever line similar to the short tee pad. She's going for the backhand, hits a tree, kicks right a little bit. That takes birdie into question probably.
Yeah, what's the challenge with that? What do you think the challenges are as she comes off the tee pad there and into her lie?
I think it's more a mental thing, right? It's not a big drop off the tee pad here, but the change in footing can definitely mess with you or thinking about stepping on the edge of the tee pad instead of getting over it.
Chantel didn't have that problem, but catches a few leaves. She's going to be well short. Our deep circle 2 for her look.
Alicia's got more of a look than I expected here.
Probably.
Bit of a run.
Yeah, half bit, I would say.
Maybe, yeah.
The real danger there is if she had missed high and hyzered really far left, that thing will go because it drifts. The hill drifts that way. Oh, Chantel.
Right, and you got to be thinking she's got a 6-stroke lead right now on Chantel.
Mm-hmm.
That part of her mindset's got to be just don't mess up, which isn't necessarily where you want to be, but it's definitely, I got to imagine, there.
Tiger now. Opportunity. Oh, just a touch low.
Good putt by Alisha for her par.
Yeah, Alicia's probably thinking in her head, if she can get a par, or average a par, essentially, 3 through 8, she's in the clear. I mean, essentially, because this play's so difficult. Bogeys are bound to happen if you make a mistake. Double bogeys in play, as we saw from Lindsey on hole 4. So, like, she has 1 bogey right now on the stretch. She's probably feeling okay about that, considering that could have been a much bigger number. She's got like you said, she's got a 6-stroke lead, which isn't impervious, but definitely feels comfortable right now.
On to hole 6. If you can make it through this first set of trees, that would be great. And then get over the ditch. This is sort of our landing zone just past the ditch. From there, you've got your option of a forehand or a backhand up to the basket. There is OB on both the left and the right side of this hole that can come into play on the drive and your second shot if it leaks out. Oh, Tiger hitting one of the trees. Heading right.
Yeah, soft kick though, so didn't kick into the woods. She should have a open footing, I believe, for her next shot.
Chantel catching a tree and kicking left. She stays in bounds. She'll have a bit of a bush in her way to get around, though.
Not what she was looking to do. Alisha, opportunity knocking right here. She can take a stroke on Chantel, who's in second place right now. She's going to leave a little short in near those bushes, but probably a par from that position as long as she's got any room to swing her arms there for her second shot. Wow.
Lindsey catching a branch sends her a little bit left. It was looking really nice.
Yeah, I thought they had a really good shape to it and just got whacked. This is a mush of a shot. Great throw from Tiger. Nice low screamer. Just gets up the fairway. She's going to be in position there to probably be able to get up and down.
See, Chantel had to get a bit creative there, sending it high.
Yeah, she had to
I
really.
think she'll be in the fairway.
Yeah, she's in the fairway. She had to kind of consider the calculation of if she really wanted to go for a lot of extra distance or not. Because if she goes for distance and pushes it OB, she just loses strokes immediately. So she kind of plays for position there, which I think is really smart.
Alicia's got a bit of a gap. I'm curious to see how much she puts on it. Looks like she's going for it.
Yeah.
That should put her in a good spot to get up and down, then hopefully get a par.
Yeah, she's going to see the double mando trees. They're not actually double mandos. It feels like they could be. They're the last kind of blockade guarding the basket there, but she'll be able to have options of any direction. Lindsey gives this one to hyzer out a little too much. It's going to be circle 2, but she'll have a putt from that position. Chantel now needs to get this close. Yep.
That's so nice.
Yeah,
What a great shot.
She should do that all the time because that was really good. This has got to get moving. Yeah, a little skip action from Tiger up into the circle, probably 10, 15 feet.
Alisha with the little forehand approach. Oh, that definitely came in a little lower than she wanted it to. We'll leave a long putt. Off the top for Lindsey.
Good line, though. Alisha from distance as well. She knew immediately out of her hand that was going to leak left. Bogey there for Lindsey. And this should be, if I'm correct in counting strokes in my head here, it should be another stroke gain from Chantel. I think she'll be tapping a par to Alicia's bogey. And even though, you and I keep talking about people at home thinking, well, it's 5 strokes still, which is what she started with.
Oh.
Not
no.
expecting that. That's uncharacteristic for Alisha. But 4 strokes, excuse me. Even though that's a lot of strokes, through 6 holes or whatever. Chantel's the experienced touring pro. She's won, I think she's won on the tour before, or like a Q series or something. She's been successful on the tour. So, if there's anyone I don't want chasing me down right now in this event, it's Chantel. I don't want her to feel momentum. I don't want her to feel comfortable. And this hole right here, hole 7, playing as the most difficult hole in the day, is where you can get a momentum swing back in your favor. 6-13, the drone's flying the right gap, which the first shot is the most critical. There's an OB kind of bushy island on the left, and there's an OB line on the right side going the whole way. If you can get a first shot clean through that gap and past the first tree, you give yourself a chance to take some strokes on the field.
Tiger getting out of bounds on the right side. This first tee shot is really pretty high level shot with both distance and shape that you can't really hit any of the branches on the left or right side, or you risk going OB.
And Chantel here leaked too far right, hits the right edge, and then knocks straight down right next to the OB line, but in bounds. Fortunate break for her.
Oh man, we are all over the right side today. But Lindsey also kicks back out and is in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, they've had so many OBs left. I wonder if there's kind of this overcompensating mentality right now. They're trying to make sure they don't do that. This needs to push, and it is not going to. OB for Alisha. And just like that, things can get interesting. This could be another 2-stroke swing depending on how this plays out. Tiger with a low screamer just into the fairway there in the ideal first drive position. Chantel here with an opportunity to get in a great spot. She might be a little too far back to look at a birdie. Yeah, and this is going to be too low. The one thing I remember hearing about was she took her meter off the line and talked about the bush along the right side being in her way, and she only took like 3 of her footsteps out, which just isn't a meter. It's less than a meter. And just thinking, like, I feel like a lot of people should find a meter stick or a ruler and measure out a meter and then practice how many steps it takes, because if that's in her head, she really needs to know what a meter is so she can get every amount of space that she can get. Do you have any?
Definitely, particularly for women, I usually say it's closer to 3.5 or 4. I've measured mine. I do 4 feet minus like a toe. Right,
Yeah.
that's a meter for me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And an extra foot might have even helped Chantel there feel more comfortable. She's kind of left with this tricky approach here. She's going to need to get through a little bit. She does into circle 2. She probably wish she could get that one a little closer. Lindsey pushes that one past the basket. Circle's edge, just inside though.
Alisha settles down right near the basket. That will be a tap-in putt.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
And that's huge because that's actually still gaining a stroke. Tiger going with her patent kind of running jump putt from circle 2. Leaves that one too far right, though. Lindsey, circle's edge. Also just too low for that one. She's going to have a tap in for her. I think that's a bogey.
Think so.
Oh my goodness, Alisha, don't do it to me. She's just trying to make things interesting.
I wonder if some of the nerves. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if I'm playing even in like a local C tier, and I had a guy that like Nick Gill, you know, he hits the tour a little bit, and I hear, you know, I was somehow magically had 9 strokes on him, and he is making a charge. I'm gonna get nervous too.
Yep. We are on to hole 8, which is a par 3, 420 feet. All of these ladies, I think, will just be trying to put it in the center off the tee with as much distance as possible to make their approach shot simple and hopefully have a stress-free par.
Little turnover there from Chantel. Under the tree there, but still open approach from that position.
Your approach is really what matters on this hole. As long as the drive's out there, if you can put your approach close. This is the first hole we see where the basket's really out in the open and wind comes into play more.
It looks calm right now in the background. I promise it's not. It's just...
I feel like calm at Brewer just means there's still some wind. It's never actually none.
It's calm 15 miles an hour, right?
Exactly.
So far, all our ladies just getting that classic drive. Tiger is one of those players who actually might be able to push this basket a little bit with her power. Here's a good move on this. It's still going to come up a little short, but she might be in throw-in range from there. Maybe very edge of circle 2.
Lindsey taking out wide, letting it fade in. That's the type of putt you want here. Stress-free.
Chantel looking for a similar result. I actually like the forehand approach a little bit more than I like the backhand, just with the hill angle, and she leaves that one a little short, which is why I like that angle a little better, but she's been putting well today. See if she can make that one.
Nice approach from Alisha. She should have no problem with that putt.
Do it. Oh. Camera angles.
She was in range.
Yeah,
Give her a little bid.
All right. Chantel able to knock in the par. That's really big. I mean, she's feeling this momentum right now. She was down by 5. At one point, she was down by 6. Now she's only down by 3 to Alisha. And anything can happen, of course, at any point. We still have a little bit of wind. You kind of, I, as a competitor, when you see someone struggling, it's like, blood in the water. And if you're a shark, you just want to go get really aggressive. And it feels like Chantel's just trying to be as aggressive as possible to shake Alisha. And we're going to have to see how she handles that, with that chase down coming right now. And hole 9 is a great chance to get another birdie. We're done with the gauntlet. We are in the birdie stretch again. This is a very scoreable, but a dangerous green. 287. You'll see a lot of them throw hyzers on the right-hand side. The big risk is skipping to the left underneath the canopy tree on the left, or a roll away. I do like the dead straight, a little bit flip-up shot towards the basket. And it looks like Chantel's not even going to try to push it. She's trying to lay up maybe a little short, maybe too short for what she's planning. Try to give herself a downhill putt.
Yeah, right? I'd like to see if you're going to do that. Go a little farther. Either give yourself an uphill putt or a less risky downhill layup.
This basket is also blind to the tee pad. And there's no, indicator or spotter here telling them, how close people are. So for all Alisha knows, Chantel's parked. Lindsey thinks that she's parked. She threw a pretty nice shot, but trickled out to the left, and Alisha actually gets inside circle. This is a great shot from her, 10 feet.
Tiger also landing a bit short, but gets the skip closer, but out to the left.
Decisions here for Chantel. Will she run it?
She is. Oh. You could tell out of her hand she's immediately a little nervous that it was going to get too far down the hill.
I didn't see a roll, which is really the benefit there. Tiger with a nice effort as well, but just a little too short. Maybe the tree in her way. Tickled some chains there.
Yep.
This is a really important putt. She might lose a stroke here, but she can't afford to lose 2.
Good putt. Let's see.
Yeah, speaking of
this birdie would be nice to cancel out some of the red and purple on Alicia's scorecard.
She gets it.
There we go.
And just like that, thinking from Alicia's position, obviously I don't know what's going on in her head right now. She's probably thinking, though, okay, I got a stroke back. It's back to 4, which, is a nice, comfortable lead considering we have 9 holes left to play. It's only 1 stroke lost from what she started the round with, and we're going to see if anything get interesting here on the back 9, but taking a look on the front, very colorful scorecards. They played in the woods. The gauntlet got them a little bit. Overall, though, we have ourselves a bit of a gap between Alisha and Chantel. Lindsey not too far behind. See if anything can happen storyline-wise here on the back 9. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to find out more videos that we got posted. Thanks to our Patreon, of course, as always, for supporting us. And Ceci, thanks for joining me with the commentary.
Of course, I'll see everyone on the back 9, see if Chantel can continue to make her push to catch Alisha.